Congratulations, first of all,
Thank you.
and your a millionth Broadway show in Ohio State Murders. It's incredible. The playwright, Audra Kennedy, is making her Broadway debut. How excited are you to honor her story and her message in her Broadway debut?
Um, it's more than being excited. I'm honored. I feel a responsibility, and it feels inevitable and necessary.
I'm so excited to see the show. I love everything it's about. It's so timely in this day and age, so I think it's a perfect time to go see this show. Going further on top of that, you will be the first show in the newly named James Earl Jones Theater.
Yes.
What is that honor like?
Again, I didn't think that I would live to see the day where you'd have a Broadway theater. Of course, we did have the August Wilson Theater, but to be named for a Broadway performer and a black man whose legacy, you cannot overstate his legacy. So the fact that the theater was actually renamed in his honor was already amazing.
Yeah.
And then when we found out that that was the theater that Ohio State Murders was going into, I just was like, oh, universe, all the gods above, whatever, ancestors, this is amazing. This is necessary. Again, it feels like fate. It feels like it was meant to be. And again, the responsibility of that just also reminds me of the shoulders of those that have come before me that I'm standing on, that I have to honor them. I have to do my best work. I have to represent them in the best possible way. And this is a moment in history.
Yeah, it truly is, and you get to be a part of that, which is
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
Talk to me about this role in particular that you'll be portraying, Susan Alexander. Your resume is just so elaborate. Does this character relate to any of the other roles that you played? If so, how? And if not, how? I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, it relates in that she's a black woman. She's
Right.
a black woman in her 50s. I am both of those things. So, in that sense, and in the way that she deals with for a metaphorical phrase, death by a thousand cuts from systemic racism. I certainly know something about that. I mean, there's not a black woman or a black person in this country that doesn't, whether they want to admit it or not. And so playing this role at this time in 2022, when in some ways I feel that we are further away from sort of the society we thought we'd be in than we were in 1992 when she wrote the play.
Right.
About an experience that happened in 1949 is deeply, profoundly prophetic, sadly prophetic. And I think this play is a bit of a cautionary tale as well. Yeah. There's a line in the play where we say, you learn about the vast system of causation. And systemic racism is, especially in this country, upon which this country was built, is the base, the pillar of that vast system of causation that leads to what happens to her in this play and what happens to many, and the results of having a country based on systemic racism, how that destroys, traumatizes, and sometimes kills.
Right. Oh my God. If that doesn't get you excited to see this show, I don't know what will. I'm very
and it's
excited.
a murder mystery too, so
exactly. It's all the things. It has it all, and I'm so excited to see you all perform this play for sure. Absolutely. Congratulations, break a leg, and have a great run.
All right, thank
Amazing.
you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
I talked to Will on this podcast right
Oh, you
before he
did?
went out to
Yeah,
Beautiful Noise.
of course,
He's the
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
So sweet, both
I
of
agree
you.
with you.
It was so nice to meet you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course, you're here with Bryce Pinkham, and he is going to be in the new upcoming play, Ohio State Murders. Very exciting. So can you tell us a little bit about who you play in the show?
I played Professor Hampshire, who is a lecturer in 1950 at Ohio State, and he gives several lectures throughout the play from Victorian novels, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, King Arthur, and these lectures have a profound impact on the main character, played by Audra, Suzanne.
Yes. Very exciting. And we are just a few days away from the opening, well, from the first preview, I guess we should say. How excited are you to get this in front of audiences?
I can't wait, I've been off Broadway for a long time,
Yeah.
and I just feel honored and privileged to be one of the lucky ones who has a job again. And not just any job, but a job where we're bringing Audra Kennedy's voice to Broadway for the first time. and collaborating with Kenny Leon and Audra McDonald. I'm a pretty lucky dude.
Yeah, what does it mean to collaborate with them? I mean, is it like a dream come true? Like, what is it like in the room?
Yeah, I've been saying that as a general rule, I try not to turn down the opportunity to be in close proximity of greatness.
Right.
And just watching the two of them work on this play and how their minds connect and collaborate is an inspiration and an education in and of itself.
Absolutely. What about, like, you have obviously a musical theater background with the shows that you've done in the past and the show that you're nominated for a Tony for and all the things. As an actor, what is it like to do a play, and how is the approach different and just ramping up for that?
It's so funny because, I went to school to do plays, and then I found myself doing musicals, and my career just kind of followed that path. But I'm thrilled to be working on a play. It's a similar approach, but there's no notes to learn.
Right.
And, you can really take a lot more time getting into the text and the story and the intentions, and it can be a little different every night because, you have a scene partner and a story, but nobody's waiting to conduct a song off of what you do,
Right.
So there's a tiny bit more freedom, and there's more time for nerding out.
Yeah, and what is that process like with the playwright who's actually making her Broadway debut? I mean, how exciting is that to bring her work to Broadway for the first time?
It's super meaningful. She's a playwright who his contemporaries were Edward Albee and Tennessee Williams and Arthur Miller, and she deserves to be in that list and has just been long overlooked. And so to be a part of the group that's bringing her voice to Broadway for the first time is really meaningful.
That's incredible. I'm so excited. One last question before we go, just to get everybody excited. What about this show gets you most excited to get in front of an audience, and what kind of message are you really hoping that the audience takes from it?
Well, I'm excited for audiences to experience the suspense in the show. This is a drama. There's murder in the title. You can probably guess that a murder takes place. And this sort of haunting mystery unfolds throughout the evening. But I think below that, or deeper than that, is a story of a black woman experiencing the violence of racism in the 1950s. And I want audiences to come away thinking about that and questioning their own connection to racism in many forms. And, in order to make this world a better place, we got to look at ourselves.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. That's a great answer. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mr. Fitzgerald. I play David Alexander, and I play Val in the show.
Hi, I'm Abigail Stephenson, and I play Iris Ann.
Incredible. And both of you are making your Broadway debuts in the show. So what does that mean to you, and how excited are you to get this in front of audiences and make your Broadway debut?
It means the world to me. I was saying to a couple other people that, when you're young and you get the privilege to see Broadway, I turned to my mom and said, I want to be on that stage. Yeah. And as you get older, you're like, okay, it's not easy. Mm-hmm. So to be here in this moment, I am so grateful and so excited, especially to do it on this show with Audrey and Kennedy at the James Earl Jones Theater. It's an incredible opportunity, and every day I wake up and just thank the universe and thank everything around me because I'm so grateful.
I love it. How about you?
Similar experience. I think this is a special feeling that I have right now. It's been challenging trying to just, stay present in everything and not just be like, oh, wow, this is really Broadway, You know what I'm saying? So I think, I think once I've settled and remaining present, I'm super grateful to be a part of this production, specifically telling Audrey and Kennedy's story. This is her Broadway debut as well, and we're the first show in the James Earl Jones. So it's just so much history that's taking place right now. So it's a little deeper than any other show. You know what I'm saying? It means so much more to us, to our families. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I'm super grateful, super appreciative of that.
I love it.
So much of what I do is to help to create more opportunities for people who look like me and sound like me. So This is deeper for us.
I love it. I'm so excited for both of you, seriously. And can you talk more about the honor of, being the first show in the James Earl Jones Theater?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think...
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I feel, and I'm so excited we get to go to the theater in a couple days. I think I'll touch base after I see the theater and get to really feel that.
Just incredible. And you mentioned the playwright, Audra Kennedy, is also making her Broadway debut. So what is going on in the rehearsal room? You know, like we have all these incredibly experienced people like Bryce and Audra and Kenny, and then we have newbies like you guys and Adrian. So talk about the dynamic in the room and, you know, how you've all kind of been able to collaborate on this process together.
Yeah, I think the dynamic is it's like a really good sense of grace. I know I think everybody has the space to collaborate, to tell their own story, to give their opinion, you know, to give their side. And then even though Adrienne is not in the rehearsal space with us, she is still there with us. You know what I'm saying? She's sending questions. She speaks to Audra on a daily basis. You know, if we have any questions, we can take them to her as well. So it is a full collaborative experience so far. And it's been going really well. You know, I think it's a good sense of ease, which you might not find with a lot of other productions. There's no chaos, you know, it's really just ease and peaceful to really respect the text and respect the work, and to tell this story, you know, the way we are supposed to. You know, I think we're allowing everybody to give their all within their role, within their position on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Mr. said the word respect, and I feel like that is the best description for the room. We have so much respect for Audra Kennedy, the work that she's written, and how we can best portray this story and honor her. And I think that is something I wake up every morning and really try to do. And every time I talk about it with other people, I just think about this play and how much I would have loved to see something like this when I was younger.
Right.
And I just want to continue to honor her and every single black woman coming up underneath her as a playwright, as an actor, as in anything in this field.
Yeah. You talk about, you know, seeing this show when you were younger and everything. I think it's very important in what's going on today in the world. Can you touch on just the timeliness of this show and this story?
Absolutely. I think so much of the pandemic, as I've told other people, is about we've been able to remember everyone's humanity. And I think that this show is so timely for that reason. I want people to leave the show with the idea of Suzanne's humanity and how much she has gone through and the events that she experienced. And particularly this show deals with the theme of racism and how destructive racism can really, really be and on black women. And so for me, it's extremely timely, and I'm very, very, very excited to help portray this story.
Yes. Do you want to add on to that?
I agree. I
hard to
agree.
follow
Yeah,
that,
no,
right?
she summed it up perfectly. I think it's relevant today, and I think even 10 years from now, it'll still be relevant.
Yeah.
So this is a story that needs to be told and will be told, because these things are real. You know, even though we're telling it through a different lens, you know, this is a lot of people's story. So I think a lot of people will be able to relate to this story and feel, you know, really a deep connection to Suzanne and the work that Adrienne has presented with us. And
I also want to add too, like a lot of the story happens in the past,
Yeah.
but a lot of the events are still happening in the present.
Today.
And I think that is something I want so many people to take away from this story. These things are, these events, the way people are treating each other, it's still happening.
Right.
So it's important for all of us to take this piece in as a present day story and not just a recalling of something from the past.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very excited to see the show and to experience the story in today's world that we live in. Just one last question before I let you all go. Can you tell me what you guys are most excited for audiences to come see? What can you tell the folks to get them excited to come see the show, and what can they expect in, you know, a week's time when you give it to your first audience?
I think they can expect something they've never seen before. I truly mean that. I truly mean that. They can really see, they're really going to see something that they've never witnessed before. This is a totally unorthodox, unusual, mysterious play. And the opportunity for us to tell it, I think, is really special. So I think they're going to take away something a little different. Even me reading the script the first time, I didn't even feel the same way that I usually feel reading any other script. So I know audiences are going to see the production itself, the spectacle of the stage. James Earl Jones, you know, it's really going to connect with a lot of people. I think they're going to leave with a really positive feeling. Yeah.
I can't top that.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, you got me excited for that. You know, I'm ready to go see the show. So I'm very excited. Congratulations to both of you on making your Broadway debut. So exciting. Yes, best of luck, break a leg, all the things. Yes, of course. Thanks for stopping by.
My name is Lizan Mitchell, and I play 3 characters in the show. Miss Dawson, who is a dorm matron, Aunt Lou, who is Suzanne, the main character's aunt, and Miss Tyler, who is owns the boarding house that she eventually stays at.
Yes. Oh my gosh. 3 roles in the same show. What is that like?
Well, because this show is a feeling, an experience of a deep memory, and we come out as really strong memories in this murder mystery. So you see glimpses of us. There are like a few sentences, strong sentences at a time that reveal another level of what this mystery is about.
Can you talk about how like much of an honor it is? The playwright, Audra, she's making her Broadway debut with Ohio State Murders. Can you talk about what it's like to honor her work for her first show on Broadway?
It is, I give it to the power of my ancestors and the magic of theater, because I come from a space many years ago where I was only able to play an enslaved person or a servant. And here I am with this visionary work that has the capability of opening people's hearts to feeling and experience in the James Earl Jones Theater. I am blown away.
Yes. And you are the first show now in the newly named James Earl Jones Theater.
Yes.
What is that like for you?
In a way, it's like a homecoming,
Yeah.
because it's the first time that I will enter a space that I know will always honor what my story, the story of my ancestors, is about.
Yes. And what about the first time that you ever read the script of this Ohio State Murders show? What was your reaction, and how excited were you to just get inside of the room and really tackle the story and the message that's involved?
Well, I really feel like after the murder of Mr. George Floyd, after the height of the pandemic, the whole globe just sat down. And I think that we're in a glorious place right now to listen. I think that everybody wants to know what is the new message that theater has to give. And this particular message offers an opportunity to listen and develop empathy for one another.
Absolutely. What's one thing about this show that you're most excited for audience members to come in and see? What's something that they can expect in seeing this show?
Because this show is an invitation to feel and experience, I think that audiences can rest the intellect and open up and allow themselves to feel what's going on. And then we know how we're connected, all of us as human beings.
Woof, you got me excited. You're giving me chills.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the show. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
It's been a joy, Frank.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me your name.
I'm Eli.
Eli.
It's so nice
Thank you,
to
Eli.
meet you.
It's
Thank
wonderful
you.
talking to you.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you and your time. Thank you.
I am James Earl Jones, and no,
And I am the theater.
I'm Kenny Leon, and I'm the director of Ohio State Murders.
Very exciting. Can you tell me about it's the playwright's Audrian's first show here on Broadway. Can you talk to me about what it's meant to you to really direct her first show here on Broadway and honor her story that she's telling?
I think it's important after the 2.5 years that we've had with COVID and, even the political climate in our world. I think it's important to come to Broadway with a very meaningful play about our need to love on each other more. Sure, Ohio State Murders is ultimately a mystery that explores deception of a world, of a country, of people. But to have the opportunity to direct Adrian's Kennedy play right now, a 91-year-old writer who's given us so much, whose play should have been on Broadway long time ago. It's just like, it doesn't get better than this for me as a director. and to do it in the James Earl Jones, the newly named James Earl Jones Theater, is indeed a pleasure. To work with this cast, especially Audra McDonald, I just got to kill it, and I feel like the cast has given me every opportunity to kill it. I think it'll be meaningful to all people because it explores that idea of why don't you see me? Why don't you see me? And all of us need to be seen. Black, white, trans, gay, brown, yellow, old, young. Just like those lessons you learned in kindergarten. Just be kind and see me and respect me. And she's written a great murder mystery that explores all of that.
Well, you mentioned just working with Audra McDonald, and of course you have Bryce, and you have Mr. and all these wonderful people, Abigail making their Broadway debut. Like, you have such experience, and you have such experience in the room. So can you talk to me about what it's like inside of the room with the collaboration process of new and veterans and all the things like that?
Well, being in the room is great. I mean, if I may even let's talk about what I think is my greatest gift as a director is I build ensemble. I let actors express their artistry. I draw the parameters, and I encourage them to find their truth within the parameters I set.
Right.
And so I've never been more proud of a group of actors, just in terms of what it takes to deliver this play, because it's a true ensemble piece, and we're only as good as our weakest link. And I'm proud to say there's not a weak link in this group of 5 actors. So it's I'm excited. I'm nervous because it's Tech Week, and you're trying to put all those elements all together. But ultimately, I think it's going to be probably going to be a really great experience for the audience. So I'm excited and looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm so thrilled, and I'm thrilled for you. So congratulations, and congrats on everything going on with you this season with Some Like It Hot and Top Dog Underdog. It's just wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good to see you.